If you've ever watched a highly experienced professional speaker give a presentation, you'll think to yourself, how can he or she do that so well? Everything comes across perfectly. The voice intonation, the way he or she projects, the pauses, and of course the content. What you might not realise, of course, is that particular presentation done by that particular person might have been done dozens, scores, even hundreds of times. You, of course, are listening for it for the first time. This is one of the reasons, of course, why professional speakers have to tour the world, because they only have, generally speaking, 3 or 4 major speeches which they present over and over again. All they do is change the content here and there to suit the audience, change a few of the facts, change a few of the statistics, change a few of the words. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because if you're in a new person to public speaking, perhaps in a Toastmasters club, you might think, I'm never going to reach that level of proficiency. You'd be wrong. If you do the same presentation over and over again, it will become almost flawless. Over many years now, 40 years, I've been telling stories to audiences outside of the Toastmasters environment, and I have a list of roughly 30 stories, all of which have been told over and over again. Some of them may be over 100 times. Some of them may be only 10, 15, 20 times. Nevertheless, when you tell the same stories a lot of times, a lot of the problems, a lot of the faults in that story get ironed out. How do I do it? Well, I look at my records, go along to a certain group, check whether I've delivered that presentation before to them, and if I have, well, I don't use that one again. In my pocket of every suit, every sports coat, I carry a little card like this. And on that card, I write the title of the presentation and how many minutes it usually takes me to deliver it. That way, if I'm asked to give a presentation and I've been allowed 40 minutes and then somebody's run over time, considerably over time, and I've only got 20 minutes left, then I tell them I've got to switch the story. They've eaten into my time, so I'll tell something different. And that's what I do. That's one way around it. The other thing is I can tell maybe 3 short stories and work them into a certain time. 3 stories in, say, 45 minutes. By doing that and having this list with the number of minutes it takes to do the presentation written down in every coat pocket I've got, I can quickly adapt to the situation. I've got another shorter list here, 10 stories, and they're all what I call esoteric presentations, what you might call metaphysical presentations, things about ghosts and spirits and so forth. So I do have the material. I don't have to get away with it like so many professionals and have maybe only half a dozen speeches, which I do over and over again. I have maybe 30, 35 stories, which I do over and over again. Just to let you into the secret, if somebody comes across really good, then the chances are that is not the first time they've delivered that speech. Bear in mind, if you're a Toastmaster and you're doing an assignment, it's that first speech for the first time. The next speech you do will be also unique for the first time, as will be the third. All of these speeches will seem awkward to you until you become very good at speaking. very experienced. So just bear with it. And don't be blown away, don't be flabbergasted, don't be intimidated by watching the top speakers speak and thinking, wow, I'm never going to get to that stage. Keep persisting, keep going, keep pushing along, and eventually you'll be every bit as good as they are.